Prairie and my grandma Fanny, and we are on October the 27th, 1942. Today it rained all morning. I washed and ironed and made some sauerkraut. Let's look at how Tessie has oil lamps and step back into time in Tessie's old-fashioned home.
What I'm going to work on today is, it's that time of year where I have to get all of my oil lamps ready for the winter. Now this is just half of my oil lamps. I have lots of them. And I wanted to share with you what I do with it. Now I've made two other videos long ago, and I thought I would share with you an updated video, and with the better equipment I have now, it was a much better video to make. So as you all know, whenever I can get a free oil lamp, I get it. I've never paid for any oil lamps. I actually was very blessed back in the summer to get a whole box of them free at the thrift store. First thing I do is I take all the globes off, and we're going to wash them with hot water. And then this is what I use for all of my oil lamps. This is a very refined kerosene. Now this has no smell. This is much better for you than the typical kerosene that you will find on off-grid channels. This is called Clean Heat. You can buy it at Lowe's or Home Depot, and it works very good. It's made for oil lamps or any other kind of heating that takes kerosene. The reason why it doesn't have the odor is because it's so refined. One of these, 1 gallon, costs $10.99. And it's a little more pricier, but you're not going to have those headaches, and you're not going to have that strong kerosene smell that you would if you would get the cheaper grade kerosene. So this is the only fuel that I ever use for my oil lamps. I've never found anything better. Even the oil lamp oil is very strong compared to this. So I'm not going to fill these inside the house simply because I don't want to be having the kerosene in here. But I'm going to go ahead and we're going to wash these lamp shades, and then I'm going to show you how I trim my wicks, and then I'll show you what it looks like when they're finished. A lot of the off-grid channels will use newspaper and things like that. That you can do as well, but I like using hot water. So I have my water already on the stove, and it's very warm, and we're going to use this. I have some leftover homemade laundry soap. I always use store-bought containers for my homemade laundry soap. So I'm actually going to put a little bit of my homemade laundry soap in there. And we're going to get a really good suds. So basically what we're going to do is, I'm going to fill the globe with water, and then I go both sides of my hands and I just shake the water like that. That's all I do to start. Now once you start burning your lamps once a week, I have to go ahead and I have to clean the soot out of them. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to clean all of the shades, and then I'll show you what we work on next. I wanted to show you what the kerosene looks like. Now this was an old lamp I got free with the kerosene. I actually will dump this out and use this for something outside. I will not use it. This is very strong. So what I like to do is, with my oil lamps, is I like to just cut the corners. Just like that. I like to cut the corners like that. This works well for me. I know some people will cut it straight across, but I don't do it that way. Now, what you'll have to do is you're going to have to trim your wicks. Depends on how much you use your oil lamps. I have to trim my wicks every month. So I trim my wicks, and it almost looks like a tongue. So it'd be tapered in the sides. This gives me a very bright light. And you replace your wicks when your wicks are cut to the point where, of course, it doesn't go into your oil. I haven't replaced my wicks maybe once every year and a half. Now some of these don't really need trimmed. I'm just trimming them to show you. You want to trim all that black off. I have been using oil lamps for about 12 years, and for the most part I use oil lamps to light my home. Of course when I make a video I can't use that. It's not enough of light. For the video it would be dark. So let's go ahead and let's work on this one. This very old one. Now of course I could replace this wick because it does have some kerosene on it, but I'm not going to do that because that wouldn't be very frugal because there's nothing wrong with the wick. So alright, I'm going to go ahead and take these outside. I'm going to fill them up with my clean heat that I get at Lowe's. Also, if you want to read the back of it, it does say it's great for oil lamps, just to let you know. They're all finished, but I wanted to share with you a safety tip. Whenever you're using any kind of cloth or anything to work with your kerosene lamps, do not put these in the dryer. I don't use the dryer, so I didn't think about it, but you want to use rags that are rags. You don't want to use rags that you use for your dishes and things like that. This rag was clean when I started, and I used it to wash my globes with it. But you don't want to use this then to go ahead and wash your dishes with it. And also you don't want to put it in the dryer because now you have some of this kerosene, refined kerosene in. So we're going to go ahead and put up all of our beautiful shades on our lamps. And I hope you enjoyed this video. This is just one of many things I have to do to get ready for the winter time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is just one of many things I have to do in the homestead to get ready for a winter. I'm going to be working on winterizing my crawl space underneath our house. I'm going to be working on all of that. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow.